What's going on, everybody? So I'm retrying this video because I had filmed it over the weekend. It turned out terrible, really bad lighting. So I'm like, you know what? I need some daylight. And so I'm refilming it again. I'm redoing this Q&A. A lot of you guys asked me some really good questions. So I'm really excited to answer them all and also give you guys like an update on what's been going on with my life, because I am 12 weeks out. Well, as of Saturday, today's Monday. So 12 weeks out, and I want to take you guys like through my entire process. A long ways to go, and that's why I want to show you guys the whole process, what it takes until the day that I step on stage, which will be October 15th at the Phoenix Europa. The past 2 months were honestly two of the craziest months of my life. And everyone's like, how do you stay positive, for those that know? And I'm just like, honestly, you just gotta accept things that happen to you. Everybody goes through stuff. So don't ever be like the victim. Oh, like, why did this happen to me? Like, no, don't take things personal. I think that's something like super important to keep in mind. I read this book. Many of you guys might have heard about it. It's called The 4 Agreements. And chapter number 2, I'll never forget it because it's something that I have to work on, is don't take anything personal. Nothing that people do is because of you. It's not your fault. It's just literally their own perception of their own life. So you just got to accept things that happen and be jolly and move on and focus on yourself. And I think it's a great time for me to be focusing on myself, because I've been wanting to get back on stage, and this whole year I felt like I couldn't, and I hate to admit to that, but I literally felt like something was holding me back. So I had to just make some changes in my life that made me realize that I need to focus on me again. So it's all positive changes, and we will get into the Q&A part. We are heading to the gym right now, about to train legs, so I will be doing this Q&A, but there's gonna be way more training clips and stuff to come. This is just like a catch-up episode, you guys. So again, thank you guys for those that asked me questions, and I will be answering them shortly. We are live. I made you guys wait forever. Ah! I'm falling off this couch. You should see the setup that I have here. Literally the only place in our apartment that has light is like right next to the window. I gotta make sure to keep the blinds closed because it's super hot in Arizona. So anyways, this should work. You guys, I put up a little post on Instagram on Q&A, and I want to do these more often because I feel like a lot of the times, like if you guys comment on a post of mine, I don't get to get like super in depth with my answers because it's obviously text, but I can go on really long rants, so I'm a lot better on video. So it was good to read a lot of the questions, keep everything as real as possible with you guys, and I do want you guys to know that you can obviously ask me anything, and I hope that I can answer to the best of my ability. So we're gonna start with some Instagram questions that you guys asked me underneath that post. So I'm going here and I'll write everybody's Instagram name that asked me this so that you know that I answered your question. You guys asked me some funny questions. Some of them I won't answer. Some of them I will make into like an actual video because these are some good ideas, like supplement questions or, you know, like a full day of eating. All those questions I'll do like a separate video on, I promise. But for these, so Christine asked me, what is an average day of eating for me? And that's the one that I said that I would do a full video. But just to give you guys kind of a little bit of info, since I told you guys I'm doing things a lot differently this prep than I have in my entire competitive career. So just to give you guys like an idea, I feel like I keep my meals pretty like moderate carb. For me, they're pretty high carb because I used to always like do very, very low carbs, high fat, like that always worked for me. But now to keep a little bit more fullness and not get too lean, I've been experimenting more with higher carbs. I find like something that's really helping me is doing like more of like carb cycling, and that means I go pretty moderate carb like the entire week. And on the 5th day, I'm adding in like a cheat meal or like a refeed day. It doesn't always necessarily mean it's like a dirty cheat, but I'll do something with like more carbs, more fat. I don't really track it, but it's just like your body literally just gets shocked by having more, like an intake of more calories. So that in itself helps you boost your metabolism, and it helps like promote more weight loss. And it also, like, if you're ever dieting and you start feeling really tired and you start feeling like you're hitting a plateau, a lot of the times your body just needs like a boost of nutrients, and like sometimes like it could be like literally dirty cheats that you need that to just boost yourself, and so that you can keep going stronger and stronger after every week. So Isabella right after that asks tips if I want to get on stage, please, and tips on posing for pictures because you always look amazing. Thank you, girl. Dude, I am like the posing queen when it comes to pictures. I make fun of myself, but you guys can literally scroll through a lot of my IG pictures and I'm always posing sideways. No shame in the game. Literally like glute popping out, and I'm like, I'm okay with this because this is kind of more flattering for me. If I stand straight up and down, like I'm very narrow, so it would just like, I would look like a straight stick. But if you stand like sideways, so maybe we can demonstrate. Hold on. I'm doing this for you, Isabella. Okay, hold on. Hopefully it stays. This tripod is pretty awesome. Okay, so example, standing straight up and down versus standing a little bit angled. This is always my pose in pictures. And you know, you just have to work your angles, and I feel like that's part of competing and part of like my tips when it comes to like bikini competitions and stuff like that is like presentation's huge. So learn to know what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. We all have them. Posing just shows you how to demonstrate your strengths and hide your weakness, your weak areas. That's all it is. So 90% posing, that's it. And I do train, but I have to like make sure to place my body in a way that's a little bit more flattering. No shame. So anyway, and yeah, Isabella, feel free to ask me anything else if you end up wanting to compete. I'm always here to help you ladies that are doing bikini competitions. I do a lot of Skype posing sessions, and somebody's knocking on the door.
Sorry,
1 second. Okay, no problem. I think somebody's coming to fix our fridge. Hello.
There'll be a package for me.
Hello.
Somebody's coming to fix our fridge. That's okay. Don't mind me, guys. Hello.
Okay, something's wrong with the fridge.
They're fixing it. I think I'm gonna go to the
You see this?
bedroom. Hold on a second. Oh my god, our place is such a mess. I hope you guys can't see this. All right, so there we go. Not bad lighting in here. This is kind of better. So I'm gonna hold it like this. All right, so other questions? Being Leash said, I'm a total beginner in fitness. I'm happy with my weight, but I want my body to look leaner and more defined. What should I be focused on in terms of training and diet in order to transform my body? Body look leaner and tighter. That requires you to put on lean muscle. And a lot of the times to put on lean muscle, I'm not saying you have to bulk. I hate like saying bulk, this and that. No. Because you don't have to put on a ton of weight, but you do need to be at a healthy weight in order to pack on muscle. So a lot of the times, people just want to be shredded all the time. You need to give yourself time to, get the muscle. And then after that, your skin looks tighter. Everything looks tighter when you have more muscle. So eat well, train hard, train heavy, and focus on that, my friend. All right, questions. Oh, I like this question actually. This was really nice. Daniel F93 said, "You always look so happy. How do you deal with the everyday shit or haters and all that?" And then also, what's my favorite leg exercise? So how do I deal with everyday stuff? Honestly, I do my best to just not let things affect me. I said it earlier, I do not take things personal. So even if somebody were to come up and maybe say some constructive criticism to me, like I've had people tell me straight up a lot of like, you know, I put myself out there a lot, and I've had people be really straight up with me. I don't take it personal, and I think that's what keeps me positive in a lot of ways, is that I just don't let negativity affect me. I do my best. And also, one thing that I do to always stay positive is like, even if something quote unquote bad happens, I think I just have faith, and I'm always like, this is always helping me in some way. So I think that's how I stay positive. I don't know, it's kind of like a long question, but I feel like that in part is something that helps me a lot, is just thinking everything happens for a reason, as cheesy as it sounds, but that's literally my motto for life. So don't stay down for long, my friends. My favorite leg exercise is probably walking lunges, because I don't know, I just love walking lunges, and I feel like that's a really, really beneficial exercise for everyone, guys, girls, to build your legs and your glutes. Gluteus maximus, biggest muscle in your glutes, is worked from those unilateral exercises. Very good. Squats, love them. You guys see me squat a lot. So yeah, that answers that question. And another question. So the protein ice cream recipe, Adrian LV 95. I will post that in a different video, I promise you. And somebody else asked me about my childhood and stuff like that, and how I started in fitness. This will be in a different video because it's really long, but just to kind of summarize like a little bit of how I started into fitness. I used to be like really, really insecure. In middle school, I was a little chubby, and in high school, I just had like a lot of acne. I like, my body wasn't how I wanted it. So I decided to make a change, and that's why I feel like my fitness story is so like meaningful to me, because I saw the transformation, like not only in my body, but in my entire life. Like I started making like more positive decisions, and you know, that didn't have anything to do with fitness, but just like friendships that I was like dealing with, and things that I would do and stuff like that. So anyway, fitness really like changed me into like a more positive, like better person. So I will get into that in a video for sure, because it's long. I have a really, really long story, but I started in track and field, and then from there, I graduated, I moved out of the country, and I became a personal trainer, and all of that is kind of like the transformation that I made for myself, and it was really positive. I totally had to stop and start that over again, because I was holding it up and my arm was getting so tired. So it's just now resting on the bed, and I'm kind of like just kneeling down answering these. I wish I could do these Q&As outside because the lighting is so nice, but it is so hot in Arizona, like 115 degrees right now. So I'm even dying inside, and we have air conditioning on. So imagine that. So I'm gonna keep on answering these. Such an awkward place to do this Q&A, but it's okay. Gotta make it happen for you guys. But I did want to finish the questions that you guys asked me. So I'm just reading through right now. And where was I? Oh, somebody asked me, RSXOXO asked me, when will Courtney King and I do a seminar? So we were actually supposed to do one back in April, and it didn't work out with both of our schedules at the end of the day, but we're gonna do something really soon. I've loved the feedback that I've been getting from the ladies in regards to both of us like doing more things together, so we're definitely gonna do that now that we're roommates. We are also doing monthly challenges, you guys. If you guys don't know about them, then maybe you don't follow us on Snapchat. For the past month, it's been Shred With Us Part 1 this past month in July, and August is gonna be Shred With Us Part 2. So that's coming this weekend. And we will do a seminar really soon. We're gonna start doing more boot camps and stuff like that. So we'll keep you guys posted on all of that. And one of our next YouTube videos is gonna be a roomie edition as well. So you guys can get to know Courtney as well. Next, somebody asked me, Giller Fit asked me, what is my nationality besides Mexican? I am Mexican, for those of you that didn't know. I am. Right now I have a spray tan. Normally I'm a really pale, really pale Mexican, but I wish I was like always this color. I'm Mexican, Spanish, and Irish. My dad is part Spanish. He has like a little bit of Irish and mostly Mexican. So honestly, I just say that I'm mostly Mexican. I've never been to Spain or Ireland, so I associate more myself to Mexico. That's where I was born. I love being Mexican. Los quiero mucho. Si están viendo esto, mexicanos, voy a hacer más videos en español también, se los prometo. I've been saying that I'm gonna make more videos in Spanish as well, which I will totally do. I just have to make sure to be more consistent with my videos in general. And Zena asked me, how do I keep my glutes so full while I'm cutting? And the answer to that, girl, is honestly nutrition. I feel like a lot of the times that people want to cut down body fat, they start cutting down their food so much and they go so low in calories that it's hard for your body to maintain the muscle mass you have, and you start breaking down a lot of muscle. So it has to be a gradual process. You can't expect to lose a ton of weight really fast. Like literally 12 weeks is my prep, and it's gonna take that long for me to get to like the low body fat percentage that I need to be at. So the way that I keep my full my full glutes, I guess I try, is by eating enough, and I do train them 3 times per week. And on my glute days / leg days, I do eat more calories and more carbs, so that keeps you fuller. Carbs for the glutes, carbs for the glutes. And on my refeed days, I make sure that I have those refeed days on leg days / glute days, so that the cheat meals go straight to the right places, hopefully. And somebody else, Wendy, asked me, who is my inspiration for getting into fitness? I started like my fitness journey, I guess you could say, back in 2012 is when I started competing. So about 4 years ago, that's when I started lifting and everything like that. And my biggest inspiration, honestly, 2 people that come to mind were 2 Oxygen cover models that were featured around that time that I started getting to fitness and everything. Erin Stern was one of them. She was a figure competitor, and I absolutely loved her body, and I wanted to look just like that. She had an athletic background in track like myself. So I really like identified with her, and I wanted to do figure and all that. So she was one of those people that got, I would say, she was like my inspiration for lifting weights and everything like that. And the other one is actually, she's been a cover model for Oxygen for like so many times. Like, I don't even know exactly how many times, but I would always see her on spreads, and I thought she was so beautiful and like positive, and just loved her physique, still do. Her name is Lori Harder, and you can actually go follow her, love her. She's a really, see, the thing that I love about fitness is like, it should be first and foremost like about health, about taking care of yourself, like mind, body, spirit, everything, not just the outside, but everything that goes along with it. And I feel like those 2 women do a really good job of representing that. And I still, like, I have other people in mind, Massey Arias, Anna Delia, those 2 ladies I absolutely adore, and I really like the image they portray as well. So that's just a few people that inspire me in the fitness industry. There's a lot more. I'm just naming like a few that come off the top of my head, but those are definitely great role models in my opinion for women. Poker Disciple, love you, my friend. So much support. Like, there's people, like, I haven't met a lot of you in person, but trust me, if you ever told me like your Instagram name when I meet you at an expo, I would remember. And there's a lot of people that I can think of that just really support me. Poker Disciple's one of them. Thank you so much. I'm doing all of these vlogs. You're pushing me to do them because you always ask me about them. So thank you, thank you, thank you. He asked me, actually, he said, you're an inspiration to me. Your work ethic is so motivating. Thank you so much. Which to me is the best way to motivate. Motivation by example. Thank you for being so sweet and always replying to my comments. My question is, Do you find it difficult keeping up with relationships that don't really get the whole fitness life? It's fine when you find people that are into fitness like you, but was it hard on your past non-fitness friendships? Thank you so much. To have like a variety of friendships, they don't all have to be fitness related, but when they are, and that's part of your interest, it's easier to hang out with people that are doing similar things as you. Because like even for me, for instance, like right now that I'm so busy prepping and doing my whole like fitness thing, there's not a lot of time for just going to hang out with somebody, right? So a lot of my friends are into fitness, thankfully, and I can just be like, hey, do you want to go lift? And that's like our way of hanging out slash catching up slash also lifting. So I don't find it hard having different friendships because I do have a lot of friends that aren't in the fitness industry that I absolutely love, but I do find myself hanging around more people that are into fitness just because that's like my everyday lifestyle. So to answer, I guess, it can be difficult, but you have to have a different variety of friendships. You know what I mean? Not everything is fitness. But if you're in a relationship and the person doesn't support your goals, that's different, you know? You want to, if somebody's doesn't have the same goal as you, you want them to at least believe in you and let you do your thing because you are your own person. And in that sense, I feel like a relationship shouldn't be hard. It should be support. I'm all about that. So, next question. I hope that answers, by the way. I kind of went like a little bit on a rant, but I hope that answers it. The next one, Grit to Live Fitness, asked me, how long did it take you to learn a good balance as far as business, working out, eating, and training others? Honestly, my friend, balance is something I think that we're always all searching for, and you kind of create your own. It took me a while to realize what my priorities are. So once you know your priorities, like if you're training for a show or if you have a set goal, that's like high on your priority list. So no matter what, like, you know, you're not going to skip your workout, or, you know, you're not going to skip your meals, because that is super important. That's what you're aiming towards, right? Towards a specific goal. So it took me a while to find a good balance, I guess you can say, and I mean, it's still a work in progress, but you have to just prioritize. And I think that's, to answer your question, I think the best way to do that is to prioritize what you find most important, and do your thing. Like, stay focused and make it happen. There's no excuses why you can't. You just gotta, I make to-do lists, a lot of to-do lists. And that helps keep me on ball. If not, I'm all over the place. So crazy. So crazy. Lexi Math asked me what my favorite brands are for makeup. I actually use Bare Minerals on my face pretty much every day, even when I work out, and I don't really break out very much from it. So I just use a little bit of powder. My eyebrow pencil that I use is Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. And then I also just use like a little bit of shadow from MAC. I'll show you guys all this stuff, I guess, in a YouTube video. I could totally make like a YouTube tutorial. I'm not very good at doing my makeup. Right now it's all like sweaty / I just worked out and it's 115 degrees in Arizona. So it's all over the place, but I got lashes put in for free. Actually, I was like a lash model over the weekend. So part of that was I had to lie down for 3 hours getting these put in and just having people take pictures of me, and they were doing like a class around me. It was a crazy experience. Like I was so claustrophobic for like 3 hours, but it turned out pretty cool. Look at my lashes. And it was a cool little modeling gig. So that's, if it looks like I'm wearing mascara, I'm actually not. It's just the lashes. But normally I do use the Sephora mascara, which I guess I could do a makeup tutorial. Why not? I'll try. So to keep going, we're actually almost wrapping up here on the Instagram questions, and then I will go on to Snapchat. I'm gonna answer most of the questions, and then whatever I don't answer, I promise you guys that I will answer more elaborately in other videos, because a lot of them can be like full-on subjects. So Chrissy Tina 0914 asked me, what kind of career did I have before I became successful in fitness, and if I find it hard to be in a relationship in the fitness industry. To answer your question number one, I actually studied hotel management, hospitality management. I used to work at hotels. I used to be like a concierge at a hotel, which was a really cool job in Montreal. I learned how to speak French, and I was like the concierge at the lounge, like the VIP lounge, and I would recommend, like there was a lot of business people that came into town or families, and if they had lounge access, they would have access to me so that I could recommend them the best restaurants, the best things to do around the city. So I was really familiar with like what to do around Montreal. That was an awesome job. I loved it. And I started working for the Hyatt brand. So that's the career that I was in before I got into fitness. And at the same time, when I started working at hotels, I also got my personal training license. So I started realizing that like my passion hands down is fitness, people, and travel. Those three. So that's why I went to school for hotel management, because I wanted to work in different hotels around the world, and also deal with people, because I love people. I love humans. Like I'm like that. Like if I go to like a grocery store or something, and it's awesome because Courtney's the same way. Like we're super friendly, and I just like talking to people. I like to know why somebody's the way they are. I like to get to know them. Like everyone's so different, and I think everyone has a lot to offer. So a part of my thing that I considered at some time too was like psychology, because I like to give people advice, and I like to hear, believe it or not, like I like to hear people's problems and like help them through it and stuff like that. So you guys can always use me as like consulting services with Annette. You can always ask me any questions, and I will always like reply and like try to do the best I can to give you my best advice, which maybe it's just an opinion, but it might help, it might not. So yeah, and then I got into fitness because I started my personal training license. I was a runner at the time, and I started like coaching people for running and all this sort of stuff. And then from there I started competing, and so I left the hotels, and there's like a lot that happened around that time. But I started being super passionate about helping people like transform their bodies, especially because like I told you guys earlier, like I feel like me transforming my body made like a huge impact in my life. So I've always wanted to help others do the same. So I believe that we all come here to be happy, and that health is like super, super important. So I've dedicated myself to this whole fitness journey, and I'm still on it. I haven't like reached the spot where I want to be at yet, but every day we get closer. So that's how I got into fitness. And do I find it hard to be in a relationship in the fitness industry? I do not personally. I think that the most important thing, like, so in the fitness industry, there could be, think about it, right? There are a lot of fitness people, they're very out there with their bodies. Like your brand essentially is like your body, and like it revolves around that, which can be a little bit extreme in my opinion, because we're so much more than our exterior. So I personally don't like to judge people on the way that they look. If you have abs, if you're lean, if you're muscular, whatever. To me, honestly, whatever. Even like my type in terms of like what I like in men, I've never been like, oh my God, he has to be like super buff and blah, blah, blah. No, because to me, like the exterior means nothing if you don't have like a really good personality to go with it. So anyway, I don't know how I'm getting off topic there, but to answer your question, if I find it hard to be somebody in the fitness industry, I personally don't, as long as there's trust, and as long as you like the qualities of a person. It doesn't matter what kind of industry they're in, as long as you guys have that like good connection and you can trust them. To me, loyalty is everything. So as long as I know somebody's like super loyal to me, like go ahead, put yourself out there. I'm not the jealous kind. I can totally be like, yep, that's my man right there. I don't mind. But if there isn't trust and there starts being like the other person's jealous of you putting yourself out there, or you're getting jealous of them, then maybe there's something that deep down they don't trust about you, or you don't trust about them. And that can maybe be challenging. But otherwise, I don't think it's hard to be with somebody in the same industry as you, as long as you can make it work. You guys, so many awesome questions, and I really hope I could answer them all before this camera dies, because it's like beeping now.